You are worried about using a prep center or have been using a prep center and they lose your inventory, how do you go about handling that? It can be a little awkward. I've definitely been there. I've had a lot of inventory loss using one prep center, my very first one, and now I have a really good prep center. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I would handle this situation. This actually came up. Someone sent me a DM in my school community, Advanced Arbitrage Tactics, and I made them a personal video, and I was like, I should make a video because a lot of other people probably have this problem. So if you want to get in the school community, definitely do that. There is a link down below. And my name is John. I have sold over $3 million on Amazon. My goal is to show you how to make money on Amazon. So let's just get into it. So when you're doing online arbitrage, there is going to be inventory that gets lost, inventory that gets damaged. And I have a whole list right here that I'm going to walk you through. So what usually happens if you have never used a prep center before, usually what happens is you'll send your inventory there and then they will put everything together, label the items and do all that stuff and send it into Amazon on your behalf. So the retailer sends it to them. They usually have a shared spreadsheet or a piece of software. So my prep center has a Google Doc. I enter into the Google Doc, hey, I bought 10 of these water bottles from Walmart. This is what I paid for them. This is what I want it listed for. And whatever other details they asked me, order number, what store it's coming from, all that kind of stuff. Every prep center is different. And then what happens is there's usually a column that says arrived or received. And so if this water bottle comes, and all 10 come, they'll put 10 out of 10. They mark it green, no issues. If only 9 of these water bottles come, they'll put 9 out of 10. And I'll see the difference that only 9 came. So now I am missing 1. So when I first started doing Amazon, it was always my assumption that the prep center either lost it, they're stealing it, they have another thing they're doing. That used to be a big thing, but that it typically is not the case. Usually what the case is the retailer screwed up. This happens all the time, whether or not someone just put 9 and they miscounted and they were supposed to get 10, or a lot of the times things happen. So let's run through this list right here. So if you are tired of prepping your Amazon FBA inventory yourself, getting a prep center is a great idea, but it could be really nerve-wracking to send $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth of inventory to someone you've never really met in person. So I've had a prep center nightmare. So now I came up with 10 questions that I asked every prep center that I'm considering working with. And I want to give those questions to you. So if you want them for totally free, look under the free resources button and the questions will be there. Just click on it and they're yours totally free. Let's get back to the video. Number 1, if my prep center says, hey, only 9 of these water bottles out of 10 were received, the first thing I am doing before I even go back to the prep center is 1, I'm going to grab that order number, put it into my email, and see exactly what happened. So I'm going to see, usually most retailers will be like, hey, we shipped out your order. Here is your tracking number. And then from there, number 1, I'm looking for, hey, did they ship all 10 together? A lot of retailers will break up the orders. A lot of the time when you are buying from different stores, Kohl's is a great example, they ship from the store. So if you ordered 50 of something, 10 can come from one store, 2 can come from another store, 3 can come from another store. So they're not all coming together. So in reality, you may not be shorted. So you want to make sure that all 10 were sent. There's not multiple tracking numbers. So that's number 1. Make sure that everything was actually shipped. Number 2, on top of that, you want to make sure that they actually have 10. In a lot of instances, I'm trying to think of a good example, but a store will only actually have 9 of them. They thought they had 10, but they actually only have 9. So you want to make sure they just didn't send you 9. Usually they will credit you for 1. They'll be like, hey, sorry, we only have 9 of these. We're going to credit your account. So those right off the bat, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So number 2, once you kind of realize whether or not they were all sent or not, if they were all supposedly sent and they're all supposedly delivered, then for me, the next step is to reach out to the retailer. Now, there is kind of a caveat here, which I will get to in a little bit. But typically what I'm doing, if it makes sense, so some retailers will not make sense to do this. Walmart is usually pretty good. Usually major retailers are pretty good about, hey, if we shorted you one, we will credit your account or send you a replacement. And as long as you're not kind of like a common offender and are always doing this for every single order, they'll usually just do it and be like, yeah, we screwed up. It happens. Really sorry about that. But what you don't, so that would be my next step. I would reach out to, let's just say it's Walmart. Hey, I ordered 10 of these water bottles. Only 9 were sent. There, you could just do it via chat. They'll be, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me look into this. Did you check with your neighbors? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Yes, I did. It's not here. Great. They're like, okay, sorry. We will credit your account. And that's it. Then you can go back to the prep center. Yeah, it turns out, they only sent 9. Thanks for letting me know. Whatever. The only time you don't want to do this is kind of when it's kind of more of a niche retail site, or there's a site that's kind of known to cancel orders. Obviously, we don't want to lose money and we want to recoup all of our money, but sometimes it makes sense and it just happens that you just have to eat an item in order to continue shopping at that store. A perfect example is I've ordered almost 200 items from a store that I shop at a lot, and 2 of the items arrived damaged. Out of all 200 of them, or whatever it was, I did not open a case with them or try to fight them or try to get it. I am marking that off as a loss. 1, because it's not worth the time to me. I think the items were about $10 or $15 a piece. Yes, I do not want to lose that money. This may be an unpopular opinion, but more importantly, I don't want to be on this source's radar. They've never given me a hard time. They let me order the amount I want to order. So for me, I don't want them looking into this order and then maybe they say, oh, hey, like, why has he ordered 200 of these in the last 2 or 3 months? So you got to make sure that it's actually worth it. The next thing about this is always ask your prep center how they typically handle this. You really want to ask them before you start working with them. But what I would do is I would say, hey, when I first started working with them, like, hey, how do you handle if a store is saying all of the items were delivered, the store confirmed based on the weight or based on whatever that all 10 of these were delivered and you're only saying there's 9? How would you handle that? Would you credit me? How does it work? Most prep centers will say that they will credit you. So if this water bottle was $20, usually what they will do is they will give me a $20 credit in prep fees. So they'll take $20 off my prep bill. So they don't have to like PayPal you back and do all that kind of stuff. So don't be nervous to have the conversation. Just ask them, because it's super important to have the conversation and you just want to know in general. Another thing to do is track this stuff. So just create a little tab when there is, hey, if a retailer constantly is shorting you 1 or 2 or sending you the wrong variation or sending you the wrong item, you may just want to stop ordering from them in general, because it is not worth the headache. I've definitely done that before. There are definitely some retailers that are just super annoying to work with. They have profitable stuff, but it just creates more of a headache than it is worth it. And then the last part is, just figure out what your time is worth to do this kind of stuff and kind of stay on top of it. I know a lot of people have virtual assistants or team members that kind of one of their main jobs is to hunt this stuff down. But main point of this video is have the conversation. Usually double check before you kind of even go back to your prep center and ask them, hey, why did you lose this? It's really, really common that a retailer shorts you, and it is not the prep center's fault. So just keep that in mind when you are doing this. And also keep in mind, this is a business where inventory gets lost, things get broken. That is part of the game, unfortunately. And sometimes we just have to write off the products and move on. The big key here is just not to kind of just stress and like let it suck out your emotions. Just realize it's part of the game and keep track of it. Make sure this retailer is not always doing this type of stuff to you. If they're not, just write it off at the end of the year and you should be good to go. I hope you found that video helpful. Please like and subscribe. Let me know how you handle it in the comments. I'm definitely interested, and I will see you guys in the next video.